Hey there, Leo. Welcome to your reading for the Libra eclipse that's happening on March 25th. We're just going to jump right in here, Leo. You start off with this toil and labor card, and you also have this wealthy man card. So you could be working very hard to increase your wealth at this time. And, it seems to me like that's what you're focusing on. I also do feel that you could be attracting someone who is very wealthy. It doesn't have to be money either. This could be someone who's just very spiritually wealthy or very abundant thinker, whatever the case may be. So I do feel that this could be love. It doesn't have to be a man either. It could be any gender, whatever you're into. I do feel like it could be someone, there's like an age difference here, or, either you're older or they're older. So if you're looking for love, that could be what's going on here. If you already have love, again, looks pretty good, so wouldn't even worry about it. But you start off with the Five of Cups, and the Five of Cups is talking about, talks about disappointments or sadness and regret. So some of you could have been experiencing or have experienced sadness and regret in the past. He's crying over spilt wine here, these 3 cups that have spilt over, and he has these 2 cups behind him in this bridge in this castle. So I always say that the Five of Cups is a card of gratitude or needing to be grateful for what you do have. He's grieving the loss of something that he doesn't even enjoy any longer. So he's grieving the loss of these spilt cups his loss for his taste for wine, basically, but he doesn't even like it anymore. So I always say the Five of Cups basically says there's something in your life that probably needs to be removed from your life, could be anything, and you probably don't even like it anymore, but you could be also upset about it at the same time. For your crossing energy of the Ace of Wands, the crossing energy can be what hurts you or helps you. I feel like you need to pay attention to inspiration. Ace of Wands is out with the old and with the new. There's this castle that's crumbling right here, and it basically says there's new opportunities coming in for you. I think that the answer for you is the Page of Swords, which is right next to it. I'll show you right here. This Page of Swords is looking over to the Ace of Wands. The Page of Swords is a card of curiosity. So with the Ace of Wands, this would basically say you need to pay attention to inspiration. You need to pay attention to those moments where you discover a new idea, or you discover a new inspiration or something that gets you excited, and you need to put effort into those things that excite you. And I definitely feel that will improve things, especially I'm getting in work and business. So for those of you that work or that have a business, I definitely feel this is like extra important for you to pay attention to your inspirations. But for all of you, whatever you do, whatever area of your life you want to improve, it's going to be important for all of you. I also feel that, again, trying new things is going to be important for you as always. In the area of your thoughts, you have the Four of Swords. Four of Swords is a card of resting, relaxing, recovering. It's a card of hoping and praying for blessings as well. There's a person right there that's receiving blessings from another person, and I kind of look at the Four of Swords as hoping or praying for a blessing. So you could be hoping that something works out in your life, or you could be hoping that you can overcome some sort of issue. You have this card at the end that says overcome any obstacle. So it does say you are overcoming obstacles, but I kind of feel that some of you are hoping or praying that you can overcome obstacles with the Four of Swords. You have these 2 cards wanted to come out together, the King of Cups and the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords kind of represents seeing things clearly for the first time. She only has clouds halfway up her body, and it represents that she sees things clearly for the first time. She also has her sword up, but her hand out to the King of Cups. So you could be attracting a King of Cups type person. You have pretty much everything here. You have fire, earth, air, and water. The King of Cups could be a water sign, but again, you have pretty much every single sign, a representation of every single sign here. So it could be any sign that's coming in for you, but I do feel you could be attracting someone who has great emotional depth like the King of Cups. The King of Cups is very deep, and so it could be any sign. Doesn't matter. It's just a person who has great emotional depth, a person who has explored their emotions, which is good because it says that this is a person who has healthy emotions as well. But I feel like you're kind of like cautiously optimistic about a person. It's also really funny that you have the King and the Queen of Swords here. Personally, I do not like the King and Queen of Swords together. If we look here, though, she's kind of like looking over at this King of Swords, and he's not really looking at her, right? So what's popping into my head here is that if you are interested in a person in love, you might not be sure how they feel. Like there's some sort of something going on here where somebody isn't sure how the other person feels. So someone is going to have to like open up or, do something here, Leo, but it's kind of funny how I just like, she's looking over to that King of Swords and she has her hand out. She's like willing to receive. I kind of feel that this is you. It's like, I kind of feel like you are the one that is open, but you could be dealing with a person who you just don't know yet, like how it's going to go. It kind of gives me the vibes of seeing a person, but not knowing a person. And so again, you might see this person like at work or something, and maybe you just haven't talked to them yet or whatever. So something has to happen, obviously. I also feel that for others, that you are just ready to receive in general, like good stuff. In the area of the past, the energy that you're moving past, you have the Emperor here. The Emperor is pretty good. I feel that he is in control and successful and ready to take action. You have a lot of swords cards here, so you could be entering into a time of like planning or more kind of like mental energy, so that is definitely possible. This could just say that you're going from, definitely taking action to more being in this like planning mode is kind of what I get there. You have this card that says a close friend acts on your behalf. You have this Earth card that says utilize logic, reason, and common sense. I feel that for everything that you're doing, I feel the simple answer is the answer, right? As humans, there's like an effect. I can't remember what it's called, but as humans, we kind of sometimes think that the more complicated answer is the better answer, even though it isn't. Usually the simplest answer is the answer. So that's kind of what I get here is like, I feel like maybe you've learned to keep things simple and not overcomplicated, or you've learned to not overcomplicate things because, again, sometimes simple is the best answer. That's really all I'm getting there on those cards. In the area of your very near future, you have the Page of Swords. Page of Swords is about curiosity and looking into things, being curious about like opportunity or new opportunities that are coming in for you. And I feel like it's a great time of curiosity. A lot of people have been getting the Page of Swords, and I've been saying to like everyone that I think we're in a time of curiosity where we really need to be curious, look into new opportunities, new things. I also do feel that you are a person, or you're both, I don't know, Leo. This right here kind of gives me the vibes of like two people where it's like, everybody knows that you're attracted to each other except for the two of you, right? It's like everybody at work knows that you and a person are into each other, but you two are just like wandering around like you have no freaking clue what's going on here. So I don't know. It's like I get that feeling for some, this might not be true for all of you, but it's definitely true for some of you. And, I would say if you work with a person or a person through work or something, that's kind of like the vibe that I'm getting here. Next, you also have this investment card. It says, whatever you invest in today will flourish in the future. Ensure that where you invest matches your investment goals. You have a celebration card that says there will be a celebration in relation to your work. As you see more success, don't use it as an excuse to stop having fun. So there's clearly a celebration because of work. And like I said at the beginning of the reading, I kind of feel that there are very positive work changes going on for you, Leo, and improvements. So, work looks really, really good here in this reading. In the area of the next few months, you have the King of Swords. Again, like I said, I kind of do see you being a little bit more in your head, but not in a bad way. I don't mean like in your head like you're overthinking. I feel like over the next few months, you are maybe more in a planning period where you're like planning how to do things, or you're coming up with better plans for how to do things. The other thing is I feel like you are going to put these plans into action right away. It's not like you're coming up with a plan and not doing anything with it. So, again, I feel like you'll be seeing progress, but I do see you doing a lot more thinking, a lot more planning type of energy. I'm also getting something about a transformation here. So a lot of you are kind of maybe planning a transformation, or you are transforming something that you're working on. Next, in the area of your closest relationships, you have the Two of Wands. Two of Wands about taking the lead, getting out into the world. That card basically said don't use success as an excuse to stop having fun. And so with the Two of Wands in your closest relationships, that would definitely represent needing to, get out in public, needing to go enjoy the world, needing to go enjoy people who matter to you. So I would make sure you're spending time with people who matter to you. I always say, I always tell a story. I was stuck for like 4 years of my life. I literally did nothing, basically. There are some things that I did, but, for the most part, I sat and stared at a wall in my room for 4 years. And I always say, I punished myself because, I wasn't making money at the time. So I would punish myself. I wouldn't go spend time with friends or anything. I literally became a hermit for those 4 years. And, it wasn't until I started walking is, the first thing I did. But then I started hanging out with friends. And that really set me free. I started getting ideas. That worked. I started this channel right here. That worked. And, so, again, that all happened because I set myself free and I got out of my head. Instead of just thinking like, oh, I need money, I need money, I need money, I started just releasing and going and doing things, and that set me free. So again, even if you are making money, I would make it a point to go have fun and get unstuck. You have the King of Pentacles here. The King of Pentacles is a card of stability and creating more stability in your life. And this is coming up in the area of your future feelings, so that's really good. I feel like you're feeling stable, successful. I feel like you can accomplish things, and I feel like you're feeling more confident in your skills. He has these grapes on his cloak here. Grapes in the tarot represent something that is difficult to grow or hard to grow, and so I feel like a lot of you are just like feeling more confident in your abilities. And because you're feeling more confident, when we feel more confident, we are more confident and we become more successful. So it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. And I feel like there is like a positive self-fulfilling prophecy that is going on here, if I can spit that out in this reading, right? You have the Hierophant at the end here. Some of you could be meeting a person that you marry. Again, I'm pretty sure I've said this to you before, Leo, that some of you could be meeting a person that you will marry more quickly than you think. And what I mean by that is that I don't mean you're going to meet this person and marry them in 24 hours, but although I don't recommend it, right? But what I would say is maybe you have a rule in your head that you're not going to marry a person unless you live with them for a year or something like that. But maybe you live with them for 6 months and you get married. So that's what I mean by quickly. I feel like maybe it's not like super fast, but quicker than you think that you would get married. So that could be for some of you. For others, I kind of feel that this could be a person where it's like you're both being prepared for each other. That's how I look at the Hierophant sometimes. Like these two guys here are initiates and they're being initiated into whatever the Hierophant is initiating them into. So it's almost like the universe is kind of putting two people on the same path. And if you want love, I feel, you could be attracting that person. You have this Rhino Spirit says overcome any obstacle. I feel like you are overcoming obstacles. And you have this mouse that says tend to the small things. Yeah, I would also keep things simple. I feel that the mouse is saying, yeah, tend to the small things, but I also feel there's an element of this reading of overcomplication. Again, like I said, I can't remember the name of the effect, but there's like an effect where, where people think the more complicated answer is the answer, but it's not. So I would keep things simple. With the Five of Cups and the Ace of Wands, you have the Moon card here. Like nobody can see the future. Nobody can see the future right now. And I feel like you need to realize that no one can see the future. And so regardless, you have to keep moving forward. The moon is about walking down this path and getting to these mountains. Nowhere on the moon does it say stop. I always say with the moon, we have to see something through all the way to the end. We have to get to those mountains. Those mountains represent an achievement. Mountains in the tarot, they can represent an obstacle, but they also represent an achievement. So, I feel like some of you, it's like you don't know what something new or a new opportunity in your life is going to hold, but I feel that if you move towards something new, it will lead to more success. With the Four of Swords, you have the Eight of Cups. It's an eclipse. The Eight of Cups is the only card in the tarot with an eclipse on it right here. Some people say the Moon card. I don't. The way I read tarot, only the Eight of Cups has this eclipse on it. And, again, I feel that for some of you, you could be thinking about eclipsing something out of your life. And if you're thinking about it, you probably should. It's kind of funny because, I've started being on Instagram, doing Instagram interviews with my good friend, Bonnie Albers, right? And every single time I go on with Bonnie, I do readings. And so many times now, I've done it like 3 times now since I've gone back, and so many times people will be like, oh, I'm thinking about leaving this person, should I leave? I'm like, well, you're thinking about it. So the answer is probably yes. If you're thinking about something, then there's probably a reason you're thinking about it. So, again, I think too many times I've heard too many stories over the years of, people who stayed in relationships for 20 years and regretted it because, they thought things would get better and things never got better. So, I think it's much better. What do they say in business? It's better to, hire slow and fire fast. Right? Same thing goes with relationships. And we don't have to be jerks about this, or we don't have to be mean, but I am a firm believer that people tell us exactly who they are right away. And so if you really think about it, people tell you exactly how they're going to be at the beginning of a relationship. You just didn't listen, right? And so I kind of feel this is saying that if something isn't working, it doesn't even have to be love, it could be anything, that it would be better to just like rip the Band-Aid off now than drag something out that's not going to work. With the King of Cups and the Queen of Swords, you have the Six of Swords. Six of Swords has come up for almost every single sign, so that's pretty weird. But, people could definitely be moving on from things, but you're moving to calmer shores. So you're heading towards improvement, or you're heading towards an improvement in your life, and I do feel things could be getting better for you. With the Emperor, you have the Four Cups. Four Cups is about, kind of manifesting things. Everybody's had the Four Cups as well. So Four Cups, this guy here, it's a card of contemplation and apathy. It can represent thinking the grass is greener on the other side and all this other stuff. But I look at him as him trying to manifest like a cake. He's manifested the flour, the sugar, the eggs, but he's disappointed because he just got the ingredients. It's like he just needs to mix everything together. And I really feel that's the time that we're in. I think the time that we're in, it's like we all have the ingredients to be successful, but we just need to put it together and pop it in the oven, right? And then we'll have a cake. So, I feel for a lot of you, this is about, putting together your skills and expressing them in the world. King of Pentacles, feeling confident, feeling like you have the skills to be successful, right? With the Page of Swords, you have the Four of Wands. Yes, like I said, I feel like there is something happening very quickly. It's between these two people right here, King and Queen of Swords. I think that's you and someone else. It could be an air sign. Doesn't have to be, though. I think that this is just saying these are two people who are not talking yet. Like, I don't think it's that big of a deal, but I do feel it could lead to marriage very quickly. Four of Wands is also a card of freedom. And so if you already are married, or if you are in a positive relationship, or even if you're not, I think that all of you are probably a little bit more focused on creating more freedom in your life, or wanting to set yourself free in some way. And, that's what you could be doing here with the Four of Wands. With the King of Swords, you have the Three of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles says teamwork makes the dream work. So anything you can do to work on a team with other people would be very beneficial here. Again, Three of Pentacles basically just says working together with other people is a good idea. And so anything you could do to work together with other people is what I would do with the Three of Pentacles. This also, with this person, the King of Swords, would say that, I like the Three of Pentacles for love. So with the King of Swords, this could be a person who really wants to build something of quality. The Three of Pentacles is quality work, but in a relationship, it could just say you're attracting a person who wants to have a quality relationship, or a person who wants to build a quality relationship. So love it. With the Two of Wands, you have the Nine of Swords. Yes, you have to leave a comfort zone. The Nine of Swords is a never-ending nightmare. And the Two of Wands is a card of a comfort zone. And you always, every reading I've done for you since the beginning of time, you get these cards, Leo. This right here is his village. He needs to leave his comfort zone. This right here is a comfort blanket that is on his lap right here. And he needs to leave that blanket. And the Nine of Swords says that he's in a situation that's painful, but it's not painful enough for him to leave. It's not painful enough for him to go do something else. And so, what I would say to you is, like, are you in a situation that you want to change that you're not changing? Or, something like that. It could have to do with your relationships. And that doesn't have to be love. It could be whatever. With the King of Pentacles, you have the Justice card, Libra. And we're talking about the Libra eclipse here. So the Justice card says that the universe is bringing justice to your finances, is kind of what I feel here. And this Libra eclipse could be bringing justice to your finances in some way. This would be more balanced, more predictable finances, or it's like I feel like you're finding better ways of doing things with your finances, or your business, or your career. Take it how it resonates, and that's probably the thing that is increasing your finances. With the Hierophant, you have you have the Tower. Again, this could be a good surprise that's happening for you here with the Tower, because it could basically say that you are breaking free from some sort of tradition, and that's setting you free. But also what I get here is, again, like I said, it could be a surprise that you're getting married very quickly. With the Hierophant, the Hierophant can represent traditional belief, and the Tower can represent breaking that tradition. And this is not like something bad, right? But maybe you were raised to believe certain things about life, and you're finding out that that's not true. And that could be the tradition that you're breaking here. The whole point of the Tower is that these people are being brought down to reality, and the Tower itself, they built that tower to ignore reality. So I feel like some of you could be kind of being brought back down to reality, or seeing reality for what it is. And again, this could be something that kind of like sets you free, which is probably a good thing. But again, I do feel this could be a surprise in love as well, where you're surprised that things are working as quickly as they are, or whatever. You have this dog. It says protection from a powerful friend. I feel like you're protected and supported. I feel like there are a lot of people who would support you. Like it's almost like I don't want to say this is saying take a risk, but I kind of do feel it is. Like I feel it's saying that you are protected from a risk that you could be taking in business, or people will support you. You have this bow card. It says you are highly thought of. Yeah, I feel that a lot of people look up to you. I think people want the best for you here, and people are like probably really supporting you as well. So again, I think people want to support you. You have the shield that says you need to defend yourself. And, again, I don't think it's a good time to necessarily defend yourself, because I think that if we try to defend ourselves right now, we're just going to look guilty. I think it depends on how you do it as well. But again, what I would say here is I do think putting up boundaries is always a good idea. You have a spare. It says dangers, especially in money matters. I would keep an eye on your finances, but I think your finances look great. Again, this right here says there will be a celebration in relation to your work. So, and you have this wealthy man card. I think whatever you're doing, you're improving your finances. You have this axe that says forces working against you. I feel like you feel like there are forces working against you, but I wouldn't even focus on it. Like, who cares if there are, right? It's like the same way I feel about curses and stuff like that. It's like, who cares? People are sending you free energy, right? So, as long as you transmute it, you're fine. And so that's what I'd say here. Maybe there are, maybe there aren't, but I think depending on how you look at it, it can be a good thing, right? You have this fan card that says, hey, this could be a fan, right? A fan that's hating on you. You have this romance celebration party card, so definitely a lot of good romance here as well. But pretty interesting reading here, Leo. I like it. So there will be a celebration. Thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your month.